Welcome to Drum Talk TV, insightful interviews in the world of drumming. I'm your host, Dan Schinder. This episode is from the Hidden Gems series, with thanks to Tom Tom Magazine and Tama Drums, Primo, Drum Dial, TRX Cymbals, and Vic Firth, and the Drums, Drummers, and Drumming Facebook page. Today's guest is Val Sepulveda. Hi, I'm Dan Schinder. Welcome to Drum Talk TV. I've got a wonderful guest who has accomplished something really cool recently. Val Sepulveda is the winner of the 2013 Hit Like a Girl drumming contest. Val, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. We are so happy that you're on the show. We follow Hit Like a Girl every year. You know, Drum Talk TV has an affiliation with Tom Tom Magazine. Mindy, she has, in my opinion, the best drumming publication on the market. I hope none of my other publication affiliates are offended by that. But it's really a very purposeful and meaning publication, and it's so cool that they sponsor this great female drumming contest that you're the winner of. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I still can't believe it. So trying to, yeah.
Yeah, because how long ago was that? Today is April 29th that we're filming this. That was only like a week ago or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last Thursday, I think. Yeah.
I still see goosebumps on your shoulder, by the way. Now, I just want to remind everybody in the audience that really the purpose of Drum Talk TV is so that we can all learn as drummers from each other. And when we have a guest on, it's to remind you that not all lessons happen from behind the practice pad or a drum kit, but from listening to discussions with an open mind and listening to other artists' perspectives based on their unique experiences. And you're kind of new on the scene, obviously, Val. So
yeah.
I get a chance to ask you some questions that I don't always ask folks that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years, because a lot of people know some of these basic questions. So I'm real excited to kind of run through your career from the time you got interested in drumming all the way up to what's happened in the last week, and then looking ahead to see what you have planned. The first thing I want to ask is kind of out of chronological order, I think, but you're from Chile. And you live actually not that far from me. Drum Talk TV is based in Las Vegas, and you live in Salt Lake City, Utah.
That's right, yeah.
So how does one get from Chile to Utah? Not that that doesn't make sense, but I'm just curious what your journey was. Why and how did you get there?
Yeah, well, at the beginning I came like with the intention of just visiting my family, because I have family here. That's why Utah.
Oh, okay.
And so it was on 2011. I just ended my college studies, and I graduated from there, from the university there.
What did you major in?
I studied music with an emphasis in drums.
Nice.
So yeah, let's say it's my profession.
Great.
So I came here after that, and I started networking and making contacts and connections and playing as much as I could. Like any opportunity I had, I just played anywhere.
That's the way to do it, is just put yourself out there. That's marketing 101, is to just, spread the seeds as far and wide as you can, and plant them deep and cultivate them. And here you are on the scene big time. You've had some great attention from the media in Chile. You've been on the news. You've been on some Skype interviews. You've been in the newspaper there. And I think Drum Talk TV might be the first U.S. company to kind of put you on the scene interview. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
We're happy to have you. So let's rewind all the way to the beginning. What made you decide on becoming a drummer, and at what age were you when this happened, and what was kind of the impetus of saying, I want to play the drums? Because every drummer has that story, and we're curious to hear yours.
Well, I think since I was little, drums were always like interesting to me. But
So
I
about 10 years
first,
ago.
yeah, kind of, yeah, like 10 years ago.
How old were you when you started?
Well, I was actually 15. I wasn't that young. But at first I started playing piano, but I liked it, but it was never my passion. And when I first sat on like a drum set, it was in high school. I was 15, yeah. I think I was like a um, sophomore or something. And it was so natural. It came to me like so easily that like a rock beat, it was like, oh, this, I love this feeling. And it was like from that moment I knew I wanted to like play forever. I was like, I'm learning more. I'm gonna make this my career, and I haven't stopped since then.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. Most drummers, in my experience, in talking to people and myself, most drummers don't dance. But I have found that most female drummers are pretty good dancers, except for Emmanuel Caplet. She dances like a robot. And she'll be the first to tell you that. Right, MCap? So I'm curious if when you talk about playing that first rock beat, was it the movement and the rhythm and the physiology that kind of got to you? Is that what affected you? Or what was it that connected everything for you?
I think it was something like that. And I don't know, that feeling of like it's something like so special, like just playing and transmitting that energy through the drums. It's yeah, and the rhythm. And yeah, I like to dance, so I like dancing when I'm playing. I can't help it. It's like
From
I
Chile, so,
yeah,
right? Goes with the territory.
yeah, we like dancing. So yeah.
So you're 15, you've been playing piano for a while, and then you go to your parents and say, I want to play drums. So here's this, I'm just picturing in my head, painting a picture for the audience, and you can correct it any way it needs to be corrected. But here you've been playing a very respectable instrument, the piano, and your parents are probably really proud. Our young lady plays piano, and
Right.
it's so classy. And then you say, I want to play the drums. How did that go
Yeah.
down?
It was, well, for my parents, I think they never thought that I was going to be so serious about it. Maybe they were like thinking, okay, it'll be a hobby. But they always supported me. So that was very important because, I mean, they helped me get my first drum set that same year. And then when I was like serious and I wanted to study a career, it was like, all right, but you have to be the best. That's the only thing they said to me.
If you're going to
So,
do it, right? Pour your heart,
do
pour your
it.
soul, academically really get into it and study it and do it, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was very important the support I got from my family.
Now, how long had you been playing the piano when you went to the drums?
I was maybe about, let me think, 3 years, probably.
Read music, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, what was the transition like going from reading traditional melodic and rhythmic music on the piano to now you looking at drum music and there's X's and all these other crazy things that where the notes mean a little bit of something else? What was that like? The transition? Did you wrap your head around it real quick and run with it, or was there somewhat of a stumbling block there?
Yeah, it was kind of challenging at the beginning, but I think it helped to know piano. It helped me to get those like notes in the
Yeah, and the staff.
yeah, and yeah, it. I think when you know another instrument, it's easier than to start something else. I don't know. So it wasn't that hard, but it was yeah challenging, like for sure.
Right. Yeah, I think some people would be surprised to know which of their favorite drummers were actually pretty decent, if not really good, piano players. And three of my favorites that come to mind, one of them's real obvious because he made a career out of it later, is of course Phil Collins. But also John Bonham of Led Zeppelin played piano, and he played some piano on the Houses of Holy album. And of course Alan White from Yes.
Wow.
was also a piano player and started out like you did, playing piano first, and then played very percussive, so his uncle bought him a drum set. So it seems to sometimes be a natural progression where some of us get the melodicism out of the piano, but not the physical flow and movement, that comes with drumming, that sort of euphoric feeling you get from doing athletics. You can't really get the endorphins going playing, no offense to anyone out there, but guitar where your fingers move about this much, or piano, your finger. But when you put your whole body into it and the athleticism kicks in, your endorphins kick in, it's a whole different instrument. I play a few instruments and nothing makes me feel the way I do when I play the drums.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's true.
So, take us quickly, because I know everyone wants to hear about, your winning submission. A lot of people watching this have seen it, but I want to ask some questions of how you arrived to it. So, let's cover briefly from the time you started playing the drums until now, where you sort of advanced your career. Did you just start out by taking lessons and playing along to music? Did you join a band when you were young? What have your experiences been in this relatively short drumming career?
Yeah, actually, it was pretty much that. I joined the drumming class in my high school, and I started playing with bands, festivals as much as I could, and watching videos, playing along to songs. And then when I started my career in the university, that's when I was like serious about it, and I learned more technique and play more rudiments and all that, the knowledge that we need. So I would say it was like the last 4 years that I got like all this knowledge, and yeah, for like serious drumming for now.
Now, in that journey, did you just stick with the drum set, or being in South America, I can only imagine that you've been exposed to a lot of hand percussion, a lot of Latin percussion, things like that. Was a two-part question. Was a drum set readily available for your parents to get? And the second question is, have you acquired a lot of hand drumming skills, being that you are, from Latin America? And I don't mean to stereotype, but I think it's a reasonable musical...
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we have access to sorry, to drum sets, and of course, yeah, the hand percussion is very common in Chile. It was but it was separate in my university. You could either study drum set or like hand percussion. So it was two different like emphasis that you could choose. But still, like my classmates, I had many classmates that they were like specialists in hand percussion, and we would jam and learn from each other, like rhythms and techniques from the bongos, congas, cajon, and things like that.
Do you draw some of those skills and apply them to your drum set playing at all?
Yeah, I think that has influenced some of my drumming, like trying to get those sounds. And yeah, I think it's in me. Maybe it's not, I'm not conscious, or but it comes naturally, I guess. Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's skip ahead a little bit in your career to a little bit before last week. I think it's April 19th that you actually published your winning video that you submitted to Hit Like a Girl, which has an enormous pool of talent. I actually know quite a few young ladies that submitted, and quite a few of them are part of the show. Melanie DiLorenzo has been interviewed, and she submitted something, a great performance.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's great.
Absolutely. Michi from Austria, who's also going to be on. You've seen, she got second place, correct?
She's amazing, yeah.
So there's so much talent. I don't know. I give it up for Mindy Albovitz and everyone who judged and was involved. That's a serious task, but let's talk about the video before we play it. We'll play some of it in a moment. I don't want to play all of it because I want people to be able to go
it's
to your
yours.
YouTube channel, let them watch it where it's supposed to be watched, but they need to get a taste of it so they have context of what this is all about. But number one, tell us about the piece, Val, and how did you choose it, and how did you prepare for that winning performance that you recorded?
All right. Well, it was hard because I knew like I had to perform something that would like kind of stand out or show my abilities and things like that. So I wrote to my drum teacher in Chile from college and asking for advice because I was lost. I didn't know what to play. And he actually was the one that sent me this track that it's in the Vic Firth website. It's like a Groove Essentials by Tommy Igo. I found it very interesting. It was in 7/8, and it had like so many opportunities to like play with like changes, like time
Yeah,
changes,
there's a lot of time changes and dynamics too.
and dynamics, right?
And that's
and
one of the
like
things that really impressed me. There's a lot of the time changes, the dynamics, a lot of floatiness. I mean, how would you overall, if you don't mind me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Oh, you're good.
how would you overall describe that style of music? It's almost like pop fusion or something, is it not?
Yeah, it's I don't know how to describe it. It's has elements from different styles, even like kind of jazzy for the how to like I drive in the ride, like, ding, 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 ding. And but yeah, push. I don't know, something like a mix of different styles, maybe.
So once you heard the piece and you started working on it, at what point did you say, okay, that's it, I'm ready to record this. Come on, turn the camera on, I gotta do this, gotta get it out, gotta get it out. How did that happen? Like, how did you know? And did you record it 12 times and pick one? Or did you just say, okay, I'm ready, let's do this?
Yeah, well, I'm very perfectionist and I'm never happy. Like it has to be perfect or I'm not satisfied with my work. So it was like it took me a while, like maybe a week and playing every day for a couple hours, like just that track. And the solo part, it was challenging too because I wanted to nail it. You say nail it? Yeah.
Nail it?
And nail it.
Nail
So yeah, it was hard. And when I got to the studio, it was like one take. I was so happy because I did it a couple of times, but I wanted to be like happy with one of them. And that was the one, and I was like, yeah. I mean, it was.
I gotta tell you, I've watched it a few times, obviously, and it's like stuck in my head now. And the one part I can't get out of my head is okay, yeah, enough of that. Here's Val. Let's check out her winning performance. Val Sepulveda from Chile. Now, I can see why that's a winning performance, and hopefully everybody else can. One of the things I love about it is what we say in English here is the fluidity. You know, the fact that your playing is very liquid, you're not rigid at all. And I have to ask, now that we've shown everybody that video, and they're probably wondering or preconceiving in their mind what some of your drumming influences are, as I am. I have an idea of someone who I think you might be a fan of, but maybe you've never heard of them. I don't know. So before I spill the beans, I want to know, who are maybe your top 3 or 5 drumming influences that show through in that performance, Val?
Ooh, that's hard. The thing is, I watch so many different drummers and styles, and because I like to learn from every drummer, and I get inspired from like different things they do. So it's always like the hardest question that you could ask me, like to choose one or two or three, because I don't want to left out some of my like influences. I have so many, but yeah, I really admire drummers that like have so much fun, that you can tell they're having like so much fun while playing, and they're just enjoying themselves and doing what they love.
So who comes to mind when you think of that? Who comes to mind the most?
Oh,
If you leave someone out, and they get mad, you let me know. I'll talk to them. I'll make it okay. So don't worry.
okay, let me think. Let's say I'm gonna start with the girl drummer. She's
Okay.
Sheila E. She's amazing.
Sheila E. Oh, I've heard of her.
Yeah.
We have heard of Sheila.
Yeah. She's a great inspiration, and I've learned so much from also I don't know, I could say Dennis Chambers and Benny Greb. Oh man, so many. I like Jojo Mayers too.
Nice.
Awesome. I like Mike Portnoy too, like metal drummer.
Yeah.
Tony Royster Jr., Aaron Spears. Those guys are amazing too.
Those are great influences. Yeah.
Yeah, like it varies.
Yeah, the variations, they vary a lot. I think it's
Very,
important.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to have this discussion in interviews so that when other drummers of many different generations, there's people that watch this show from over 80 countries, they're different ages, they listen to different music, and I always love to ask this question so that when they see you play, they can kind of then learn from this discussion what were some of the elements of the equation that formulated your style. One of the names that came to my mind, and we haven't had this discussion off camera before, but one of the names that came to my mind, Val, that I wondered if you've heard of and are a fan of, is when you start doing the actual drum solo part, I saw a lot of Lenny White. Do you know who Lenny White is?
Lenny White.
Lenny White is a open left-handed drummer, and he still is right now, in an amazing band called Return to Forever. The original lineup was with Chick Corea on keyboards, Al DeMiola on guitar, and Stanley Clark on bass, and Lenny on drums. They are playing now still, though Al is not with them. They have Jean-Luc Ponty actually with them on electric violin, another guitar player. But I saw a lot of your style. That might be someone you may want to look at.
Oh, I will for sure.
But yeah, it's really interesting how I had a preconceived notion, yet you're not familiar with them. So there's something about those other ingredients of this drumming soup that you put together with Benny Greb and Sheila E. and Dennis Chambers and JoJo and all these other wonderful, talented drummers that somehow showed glimpses of that. So I always love this part of a drumming discussion, because inevitably there's often a drummer that will come out as an influence that's a real surprise. That really, wow, you listen to that drummer? I didn't hear any of that, but yet it's someone, that is admired. So that's always fun. There's another video that you sent me that I'd like to play. It's a cover or play along, however we want to put that, and it's by Radiohead, and it's 15 Step.
Yeah.
Tell us about this piece. You sent that to me today, and I watched it a few times. Tell us about this piece.
Well, that song, I didn't know this song before my friend Al, he's the engineer in the studio where I record. He asked me to play it. Like, it was like a couple of weeks ago. And he was like, that's a good song. You should cover it. And so like, oh, okay. I listened to it a couple times. And after the awards show of the contest, I got home and my friends were, okay, you have to like submit a new video and upload it. And so,
I told you that too.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone was like, you have to, you must. So since I had practiced that song before, it was like, okay, let's do it. And I had a little time to practice it. So it took me a while to upload it because I'm too perfectionist. But it was fun. I had fun playing it, and it's in a different meter too. It's 5/4, I think. Right. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So it's kind of fun to play with that too.
Well, what I love about this piece, and I'm going to show it in a moment, what I love about this piece is it reflects something that you mentioned is something that is a trait you see in the drummers that inspire you. And you said that those are drummers who really look like they're enjoying what they're playing. What I love about this video, Val, isn't just the wonderful drumming, but you are physically in it. If a drummer could dance on her throne, you are doing it while you're playing this piece. And I love it. I mean, the facial expressions. We all have drummer faces, and mine look nowhere near as wonderful as yours do. Okay? And I'm sure I move when I play, but you can tell it's a woman who's having a wonderful time playing what she loves to do the most, and that's the drums, and it's great. So here is Val Sepulveda playing Radiohead's 15 Step. Yeah, I had so much fun watching you play that piece.
Yeah, it was a fun piece. Like, I enjoyed it. It's funny because I enjoy like playing pretty much anything. So it's just a magical world when I'm in the drums and any rhythm. I'm just having so much fun, even if I have to play like super slow.
Right.
It's crazy.
Great. So hopefully you can all see from that performance that this drummer is loving what she does. And I hope you all love what you do the most as well. You know, coming home from a hard day at work, or just, you know, whatever's involved in your world, when you sit down at the drums, if you experience anything like what I do, what Val does, what the many guests we have on this show does, your world just changes and it makes everything all right. In fact, I had a conversation with Rod Morgenstein the other day on Skype getting ready for his interview in a couple days, and he said, we were talking about the unfortunate situation that went on in Boston recently during the marathon, and he teaches at Berkeley. And I asked him, when you went there, were the spirits up a little bit? And he said, Dan, you know, if we could just give everybody a pair of drumsticks and a set of drums, the world would be a better place. And you know what? If you're a drummer, you understand that, and there's no argument to that. You know?
It's true.
So it's great to see you really, really, truly enjoying what you're doing. So my last question is, what the heck is next, Val? What are you going to do next? I mean, sometimes they say the hardest act to follow is your own, but yet I don't want to plant a seed that there's any obstacles for you, because there is not. You're extremely talented, you're very well spoken, and you've just achieved a milestone. What are you shooting for next?
That's the same thing I'm wondering. Well, my goal is to live out of this and keep pursuing music, and I mean, keep playing forever. Playing shows locally and going on tour as much as I can, recording and making more videos, maybe getting some endorsements. That's the dream. Just like doing what you love and not stopping. So yeah, I'm trying to find the opportunities to do it. So I'll keep working hard and trying to improve each day.
Great. Are you applying your degree solely to your playing, or are you also thinking of applying your degree in drumming and music in other ways, such as possibly teaching or doing clinics and things like that?
Oh yeah, like anything that's involved with drumming. I used to teach in Chile drums and do lessons and things like that, but yeah, clinics and anything that would give me the opportunity to keep drumming and to keep having relations with drummers or having relations with musicians. Like, do you say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's very important. It's very important to network and put yourself out there and find out the who's who of your local community and even back home, because it'll simply connect you to more opportunities. And every drummer and musician out there watching this needs to understand that music is a business. Even if you do it for fun, even if you just play at a bar or a pub on the weekends, it's still a business. And why not fine-tune and massage and polish that business aspect of it so you can get more frequent gigs, so you can get better gigs, so you can get more people to your shows, you know? So it's important to really understand that approach, and it can still be fun, you know? Treating it as a business is not going to ruin it. It's simply going to enhance it, you know?
Yeah, totally agree.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us here on Drum Talk TV.
Thank you.
You're only a few hundred miles away, Val. So anytime you come to Vegas, the open door to Drum Talk TV studios is open. The door to the Schindler home is open. My wife and I will cook you a great dinner. We'll have some fun. We'll go out into my studio, play some drums, and show me a few things, because you've got some wonderful skills. And we really, really appreciate you coming on, and congratulations with a wonderful, well-deserved, well-played and presented win with the Tom Tom Magazine Hit Like a Girl Female Drumming Contest.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Stay with us. Check out our Facebook page. Like us on Facebook. Go to www.drumtalktv.com. Follow all the great interviews coming out where you can learn so much about the drumming world and all the wonderful talent that we're all associated with. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all soon.